Is that on? Oh, I guess it is. Hello, everyone. I am the Aries. Today is Saturday, July something or another. Hope everyone had a happy 4th of July. I guess we'll do an energy read. So, as many of you know, I chat hop a lot. Go check out the tarot rooms. I like to throw the energy around a little bit, get to know people, see what's going on, possibly network and connect for future times. And I do this with all kind of readers from everywhere. I'll even go to the chat rooms that I can't speak a word of I can't understand a word of what they're saying because they speak different languages. But I'm of the opinion that we're all family, whether we understand one another, whether we're in close proximity to one another. We're all part of the spiritual family. And I like to socialize a little bit. So I'll go to this one reader today, Chinese reader. Don't ask me her name because I couldn't pronounce it. I couldn't read it. I don't speak the language. Anyway, she's doing a live chat. And she put, and I'm under my Sun Magician Emperor name. Sun Magician Emperor star name. Which is a really cool name, but one that stands out. So she says hello in English. Up to this point, she'd been speaking Chinese or whatever. So she starts, well, I don't want to say grilling me, but just asking questions. And now, I went in just to hang out for a little bit. You know, I mean, true, I don't understand the language, but energy has no language other than the language of itself. And we're all part of the energetic exchange. At least those who have the real gifts anyway. So she's asked me, are you in the wrong chat? You know, because you're like a fish out of water here. You're clearly not Chinese. You clearly don't speak the language. So I explained, no, I'm just going around, you know, supporting the spiritual family, blah, blah, blah. Now, she did sit there and say, are we really a family? And I understood that because I'm kind of starting, I think that sometimes too. I like to say we're a family, but really, honestly, is a spiritual community really a family? But anyway, I explained a little of myself. My little origin story. Not too much of it, of course, but mainly just the whole vision that started off for me. So she asked me, well, what's your message that you want to convey? And I'm like, message? I do have a message for Asia, but yeah, I wasn't really thinking about it. So, you know, I'm like, so I tell her, well, look, I support Taiwan. And I just relate this story because it's clear the divine lead us to places. Because I had no intention of saying anything to anyone. But the message I had that the divine do support Taiwan is an important one. And if you look at what's going on with China and Taiwan and Japan and all Asia, with the CCP, that's a Chinese Communist Party, acting like it's an imperialist nation, to sit there and say that the divine are in this world and we do support Taiwan is an important lesson, is an important message. So, one way or another, these messages will get out in all sorts of ways. The universe works in mysterious ways. God works in mysterious ways, but saying God in the universe, pretty much the same thing, because the universe is the system that the divine, that the Trinity have set in place. I remember hearing someone complaining about how people are using the term universe instead of God, but I'm like, I don't really see it a problem because the word God is just a title of man anyway. I mean, it's just a title that man has for the Supreme Being. Also, last night, the oddest thing happened. I was about to comment on one of my friends' pages. Evie from Twin Flame 3344. Check her out, everyone. I'm not one for the Twin Flame people, the Twin Flame community, but I do like Evie, and I think she's a good person who's really talented in what she does. I get all sorts of messages from her. Anyway, one of the comments on there was someone who started talking about Q this and Q that, and to me, and obviously that's got to be the whole QAnon people. Now, for those of you who don't understand, who don't know QAnon, they're the ones who are fueling a lot of this Trump bullshit. How they got entwined with the Trump people is beyond me. They're also entwined with the evangelical crowd, even though I'm not sure if all these parties have seen the connection themselves yet. Now, if some of you have seen that there are a whole bunch of trolls that are going around chat rooms. Now, I believe there are a couple different groups, at least a couple different groups, but I think that one of those groups is kind of ran by QAnon people, because I've heard them mention things like by QAnon, or the whole Q, the whole Anon thing. I've heard them mention that. Now, that brings me to my wider point. I think that there's some kind of dark spiritualists in this group, because they want to do their, because they seem to know what chat rooms to target, and I don't think that it's just by coincidence. I know it's not coincidence, because there's no such thing as coincidence, and I think that some of these people do have spiritual powers. Now, dark spiritual powers, or spiritual powers that are turning towards darkness, but I think there's a link to them. And the fact that, and if you think what the evangelicals are talking about today, how they're all for like Trump, how they seem to want to anoint Trump as the next coming of Jesus, or maybe Jesus himself. For them to be involved with the QAnon people that sit there and say the same things, I don't know. And if you remember how Trump, well, supporters of Trump would always talk about how Obama, oh, he's the Antichrist, he's the Antichrist. Well, I don't want to make any accusations, and I don't want to, well, I don't want to make any accusations, but there is something to that. It makes no sense how these evangelicals are so hell-bent on putting in Donald Trump, who is clearly not the Christian type. Clearly not. So I'd kind of want, well, I'm hoping that this universe sees fit to put more of this information out here, because I think there's something to it. We have the Eight of Swords, the Fallout, also the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is the card of rest, staying at rest, but the Eight of Swords is one that's being stuck. So I'm currently stuck on this problem right now, because I think there's something to it. But I don't trust those QAnon people for nothing. And I think they're into the darker parts of spirituality, of the world we're in, because I've heard them mention before, there's a war of light and dark that's about to happen. And clearly, to me, that's black and white, the racist thing, you know. And if you look at some of these Trump people, the evangelical people, you know, they're all a bunch of racists as well. So is there a link? I think so. And I think we're going to have more to come about that. Because, you know, they're going on and on and on about how August Trump is going to be put in office again. But that's something that I'm keeping my eye on. And I hope some people in power and charge are keeping an eye on them as well. Oh, I'm doing an energy read. How is the collective doing today? Oh, also, check out my Twitter page, Frost Winters Tarot. It's where I'm doing the whole manifest justice thing at. As I've mentioned, I'm creating a database of missing persons reads. I think it's going to be important for the future to show what our abilities are and show our willingness and desire to help people. Because we all get a bad reputation. A lot of it from these so-called Christians. Well, I don't want to single them out. It's all the Bible thumpers. Or the Torah thumpers. Or the Quran thumpers. Yet and still, they all spring from the same book. The Torah, the Old Testament. So, I don't know. We have the Five of Cups to pop out. Looking back on the past, not seeing something that's behind us, seeing full cups, seeing opportunities that are around us, but because we're looking at spilt cups. Oh, and anyone who's new to the world of tarot and you're wondering how people read these cards, I'll tell you one thing that I was told when I awakened, my whole little awakening speech, that there's power and magic in art and creativity. And so it took me a little bit of time to figure it out. Well, in this regards, people can see a message in this artwork. Now, to illustrate that point in another art form, look at music. Look at how music influences people. Look at how you play some music and your emotions are get all hyped up. Or maybe you get sad. There's power in art. We have the Seven of Wands. Some sort of competition. But holding our own. It's interesting that they said competition. I was in some reader's chat today, and she mentioned there's a competition around you. And I'm trying for the life of me, trying to think what competition, because I'm not in competition with anyone. But that doesn't mean that someone's not in competition with me. Because as I've told you before, during my whole awakening speech, they told me there would be people jealous. Why would people be jealous of me? Well, because of my link to the divine and the spiritual gifts I have to offer, which I need to make more use of as far as monetizing them. I'm actually going to have to sit down one day because they're quite versatile, although ill-defined. I think that the quote they said was, I'm able to bring raw spiritual power down from the ethers. Of course, I can transmute those, and that's just bringing that power down, being able to transmute it. It's just a way of saying magic. Plus, also, my link with the divine. I can do a lot of things. One of which is put the CCP on notice. Imperialism will not be allowed to happen no more in this world. We don't want it. You see right now that the Western nations who benefit of imperialism are paying the price now. And if you're asking what price they're paying, well, look, power structures are falling, failing, and world powers aren't as powerful as they used to be. But the thing is, you have China, the CCP. They want to take advantage of that, become the new imperialist party, but we can't allow that because we want a new society. We want a new Earth. Not the same kind, with different people doing the same bullshit. Not taking those. So yes, let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Looks like I might have to cut this one short. Of course, I never really know what I'm going to talk about when I come on these videos, but oh, I had a dream lately, and which just confirms what my next step has to be in this life. And as I've mentioned before, I have my mission. Part of my mission is to bring in people into the spiritual fold. Those people who have been outcast, ostracized, and marginalized by religions. And the group I'm going after is the LGBT community, because it's apparent. Well, it's clear to everyone who cares to care that this community needs some justice. Now, you've got a lot of other bullshit going on, and people address other type of bullshit, you know, I mean, but people turn the blind eye to the bullshit that's going on in the LGBT community, and the divine want to put a stop to that. And so we're going to do that. Now, if you see, and I'll tell you what, like I've mentioned in the video before, like I mentioned in my Twitter page, that karma is here for a lot of people in this world. And it's here for those people who mistreat the LGBT community, who sit there and try to think they're so much better than them because, I don't know, because your preacher said that you were better than them. And let's be honest, most of these preachers are a bunch of worthless hypocrites anyway. There's a difference between being a follower of Jesus and being a Christian. And I think a lot of these Christians are going to realize this, especially these so-called prophets who sat there and keep trying to prophesize Trump being in that White House. I'm telling you now, the divine don't want Trump in power. And it's not even because of him himself. It's because how he would allow everybody to sit there and kiss his ass, and he'll sit there and take them on. And I'm telling you now that there are groups out there who will try to get behind Trump to try to use him for their own goals. And Trump, being the narcissist that he is just going to go along with it as long as somebody's going to kiss his ass. You saw the Russians do that. They used him. I think they have a term, a useful fool or something like that. Someone they can use for their own benefit. We have the Ace of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Five of Wands that fall out. A beginning action, somebody created a beginning action, but going to be a little bit of competition there. Because some people just want to do what they want to do, want to grab power and not care who is that, they don't care who gets in the way of it. That's not what I wanted to say, but I'm not really one of these practice speakers. So I guess I'll have to let the cards speak for me. The Four of Wands. Well, that's not really the kind of speaking that I thought was going to happen. Let's see. Four of Wands, of course, foundation. A lot of people say it's a twin flame card. And I'm not even going to say that twin flame doesn't exist, but I'm just going to tell you that I think twin flame is something different than most people think it is. And I think that most people are crying about twin flame more than they need to, because we've got to do other things in this world. Part of the reason why I go to other chats from readers from other lands is because I get tired of the whole bullshit twin flame message, or just not even twin flame, but love readings in general. Because most times when you do love readings, you have to understand you've got so many energies at play. You have people's current energies. Now you have the one reader, and she's reading the energy of one person, which can change from day to day out, from one day to the next. And then you're bringing into the energies of another person, which again could change from day to day. So it's hard to do those love tarot the way people think they could. The way people think they're done. And also, these love reads just predict future energies, and you still have to make these energies occur. You have to transform the energies and make them into physical actions, which I don't think a lot of people know or understand. And a lot of these readers aren't really sitting here saying that either. We had the Chariot to fall out, and also the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Go in places with a new opportunity, with a new business, with a new endeavor. And Pentacles usually represents money and physical to tangible things in life. We have the Seven of Cups and the Two of Cups to fall out. Well, to turn over in the hand. New opportunities, a potential opportunity with going places, with dealing with someone else, a cup of love. And of course, love could be, well, usually relates to love, but not necessarily love as we define it. Communication of a loving soul. Oh, we have the Nine of Cups as well. Wish fulfillment. Almost at that Ten of Cups, but we do have the Ten of Pentacles to fall out. So possibly wanting to go somewhere and having options, or maybe the option to go somewhere with a brand new start with someone. Oh, well, you know what, this Two of Cups, I guess it kind of relates to with the Four of Wands here as well. Going someplace with a new opportunity as a possibility with someone in order to create a foundation that's going to bring us happiness and financial stability. That's certainly what I'm working on, and I think a lot of you is working on that as well. Because I know with my whole outreach to the LGBT community, I plan to do things that will help this community out as well as help other communities out, and doing it in a way that's going to be helpful to all sorts of people and possibly financially rewarding. Well, came out reverse. Three of Swords in reverse. Since it fell out in the reverse, I'm going to take it that way. No heartache here, no third party situations. Although we did have that Two of Cups, so maybe these opportunities are with specific people or a specific person. Oh, look, my personal card, the Sun on Earth here, and what I'm here doing in this world to do, provide some kind of justice. And I'm just now talking about things that are going to be good for everyone, that promote coming together with people in a financially rewarding way, I would think. Not wanting to feel that Five of Pentacles, not wanting to be left out. There's a brand new start with that Ace of Wands. You know, I'm starting to think this is really just going to be a read for me, but I'm pretty sure it should resonate with some other people as well. But it's as I've always thought that my energies are a little bit on the strong side, so I'll never be able to be a tarot reader to the stars or other people, mainly because the cards work for me in a different way. I could sit here and say that these cards, well, these cards represent all kind of things to all kind of people, but to me, it represents the path that I'm taking. What I need to personally go through in my life. So that I wouldn't have to rely on others other people's opinions, institutions, whatever. It is really hot, and I'm about to end this video. So let me pull one more card. I'll take that one as well. Oh, we have the Wheel of Fortune. But can I have one more card other than that from another deck? Oh, check out my friend Shell's video from No Kai Oi Tarot. She was spitting fire and brimstone today. I really enjoyed the message. And speaking of which, Enlightened Mystique Essentials, my friend Leah, she really speaks the truth out there in a way that doesn't sugarcoat anything. She's the one whose video had me open that spiritual doorway. And I will forever be thankful to her for that. Because she mentioned that spiritual doorway, and I said, I want to check it out. I know that there's more to this world. And that night, that spiritual doorway opened. I saw all sorts of things. It was the start of all kind of things. We have the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, waiting. The Five of Cups is something spilt. Nine of Pentacles, wish fulfillment again. And of course we had the Five of Cups again message. And the Knight of Swords, going out and communicating, but doing so in a more forceful way than just saying the Page of Swords, putting a little bit out there. Speaking in a forthright manner. But we do have the Knight of Pentacles is slow, so whatever we're building, it might take a little bit of time, which I certainly don't want to hear, but it is what it is. Patience is a virtue, as they say. Let me try to get an oracle card before we leave out. I did not plan to take all of these, but I suppose I will. We have the Page of Raphael. Gentle, loving, dreaming, open-hearted. A new emotional situation. Messages regarding relationships or social invitations. Great intuitive insights. Well, that relates to me. I am trying to be more social, and I do try to network, so because I do want to have some collaborations. The High Priestess. Powerful psychic insights, reflection, and meditation that provides valuable information. Be at peace. This card, High Priestess card, synonymous with the High Priest. That's certain esoteric information. I told you I'm linked with the divine, so, you know, I'm going to draw that card a lot. Look who makes another appearance. The Chariot. Determination and self-control, career advancement, knowledge of success, acknowledgement of success by others. I certainly plan to go somewhere. I don't want to... Physically, I plan to go somewhere because I can't stand being here in North Carolina too much longer. I want to travel the world. I like to go to Asia. I like to go to Japan. They gave us PlayStation. How could I not want to go there? I mean, come on, everyone. But Chariot stresses movement. We have the Knight of Michael. Strong, committed, intelligent, and diligent. Time to move quickly. Oh, here we go. Time to move quickly. Choose logic over emotion. Sudden changes. As I said, I'm ready to move. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do things. I'm tired of just being that Knight of Pentacles, just sitting still. We had a Three of Michael. Release the past. You will grow from this situation. Time heals all wounds. Blah, 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 blah. I agree. And finally, the King of Michael. Principled, rational, ambitious, and respected. Wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity. A situation that calls for honest and open communication. Communication solves everything. Well, it doesn't solve everything, but without good communication, you can expect problems in life. Let's just be honest. We have to learn how to communicate. We have to learn how to talk to one another. And we have to talk to other people. And as I was mentioning earlier before, I go to a lot of chats. I might not understand the language, but I know that we're family, and I know that we need to reach out and we need to work together. And that's what I'm doing, and I hope other people do this as well. Yeah, you might look a little crazy, a little bit eccentric, but hey, the closer you are to the divine, the crazier you're going to sound. I'm just going to put it out there just like that. Because look at the world we live in. Look at the things we know. Of course we're going to look. Well, of course we're going to look a little bit crazy sometimes. But that's okay. Because we can't let what others think of us stop us from doing what we were meant to do. Oh, and the Eight of Cups right there fell down. Some sort of regret. Some sort of, well, in this card in particular, she's got that moon there, and something was lost. Something. But there are plenty of other cups that to be filled. We just have to turn around, look at them, and deal with them. But that's not really the card I wanted to go out on. And that's not the card I wanted to go out on either. That's the Ten of Wands. That's burdens, but an end to burdens. I really should have quit well and behind. But in for a penny, in for a pound. The Six of Cups. The soulmate card. Someone from this life or a past life. You know what? My baby's mom is somewhere around on the way and thinks she's in North Carolina now, and that's someone I don't really want to do it, but who knows? But until next time, wish fulfillment again. I am the Aries, and I'll check you out later.